In this episode, we are going to try the Nasi Kandar. It's one of the most favored dishes in Penang, and I'm going to show you exactly how I made my take on a Nasi Kandar, and it is absolutely delicious. Check this out. I've been a doctor for over 15 years, and patients always ask me for healthier versions of recipes that they love. And I treated patients from across the world, so I decided to come to the culinary capital of Malaysia, here, Penang, a melting pot of different cuisines and cultures from Indian, Sri Lankan, Chinese, and of course, non-Yuen cooking. We're gonna try some of the most authentic dishes from the best vendors and then create inspired dishes right here in our studio kitchen with a healthier twist. Welcome to Healthy Travels with me, Dr. Rupy, in Penang. We headed to see Mr. Clement, our resident food expert, to tell us about the history of this wonderful dish. Nasi Kandar.
Another dish that originated from Penang is prepared by the Indian Muslim community. You may say, oh, just another curry dish, but the special thing about it, they use a lot of ingredients, can be even up to more than 10 different spices in just that curry gravy preparation. Nasi Kandar means rice carrying on the pole. In the old days when the immigrants came, they were poor, the food sellers, they will carry on the pole. One will be the pot of rice, the other will be the pot of curry. And the gravy has to be so good that you can eat the rice just with the gravy.
Right.
And you feel so good about the food.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna try and figure out the
the
spices
whole
in that.
country, Malaysia, they will drive all the way to Penang just for this food.
Really?
You must try.
We're gonna go see Mr. Simon. We are late. He's a home cook, a trainer. We had a chat with him on the phone. Sounds like a really nice guy. We're gonna be late, so we're gonna go. Lovely to meet you, man. Lovely to meet you.
How's Malaysia? How's the stay in Malaysia?
Look, it's been amazing. We're going to go get some Nasi Kandar in the local area. Do you think you could recommend somewhere that we should go?
The truth is, you can get it anywhere now.
Okay, yeah.
With all the blue sign with the Nasi Kandar.
Yeah.
But the best Nasi Kandar is only during the night time.
Oh, okay.
They call it the Nasi Kandar Beratur, which is the lining up Nasi Kandar. So if you go at 9 o'clock at night, the whole place you see people lining up to eat. When you eat Nasi Kandar, you must tell them you want the curry campur, you know?
Curry campur. Okay,
curry campur means a lot of curry mixed up, and when you eat it, it's like a lot of nice flavors. It's like, you know, when you watch Ratatouille?
Yeah.
You know, it goes boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
you know? So that's the idea about Nasi Kandar.
Okay,
That makes it very unique by itself.
Absolutely. So I've been told this is the Nasi Kandar place to go check out from Mr. Simon and various other sources as well. We know it's going to be delicious. I can already smell it right now. I'm going to join the queue. I'm going to try and figure out a way in which I can healthify this very typical dish. I'm quite close to the start, but I haven't moved for about half an hour. I think multiple people are ordering many different things. The queue is now about 40 people deep behind me. Clearly, it's a very popular local dish. Can I have one with fish?
Curry fish and fried fish.
I'll have the fried fish. Yeah, with gravy, yeah. Thank you. That's right, that's great. Thank you. And a little bit of salad as well. Thank you. It's crazy in here. It's great, thank you. They served this so fast, so I barely sort of saw how they did it, but from what I gather, there's one piece of protein. In this case, it's fried fish. They use lots of different types of protein. This looks like a fillet of fish. They've got small prawns, they've got octopus in there. All served on white rice. 3 different broths just slapped on top. They've got what probably is a chicken broth. There's definitely a fish broth in there. There might be even lamb broth, crispy chili on top. And I had to ask for salads. Mr. Simon warned me that this wasn't going to be a healthy meal and I'd struggle to make this healthy, but it looks delicious, and clearly looking at the queue, which is going around the block now, it's definitely very popular, and there's got to be a reason why. So tons of flavor going on. Wow, very punchy. Lots of different levels of spice. There's umami, but like a spicy hug and a bowl sort of gravy. It's got like a sour tone to it as well as a salty tone. It's definitely not healthy, that's for sure, but it tastes freaking amazing. This beautiful flaky fish, this looks really good. Oh my God, that is awesome. Now fish is delicious, fresh, perfectly cooked, nice crust on the outside. With that warming broth, it's a lovely contrast to the flavors here. I can see why people love it so much. I'm going to struggle to make a healthy version that actually resembles anything like a Nasi Kandar. I'll give it a good try. Nasi Kandar. This is one of the Malays' most favorite dishes. You'll find it on most street corners. It is rich, hearty. It is definitely not healthy. I've heard loads of people tell us Nasi Kandar addictions led to heart attacks. It's really rich, it's really luxurious, but it is way too high in fat, it is way too oily, and we're gonna make a hearty version that is that little bit healthier, Doctor's Kitchen style. So this is like a shoulder shrug to the Nasi Kandar. We're gonna start off by using prawns in this one. You don't need to use prawns, but they tend to have meat, pomfret, fried fish, chicken, they have lamb. There's loads of different Nasi Kandars out there. I'm making a quick marinade for our prawns over here. Chili pepper, salt and pepper, garam masala, and turmeric. That's it. I'm just going to mix these up together. I'm going to add our prawns to this. Typically what they do is they'll roast a meat or fish or whatever and have that to serve on the side. And they make multiple sauces to basically dip all their meats into and to smother over the rice. So typically they'll use roasted meat, they'll baste it, there's loads of different versions of it, and I just want to use prawns because prawns are abundant over here. A little bit of olive oil goes into our pan. I'm using non-stick because that's what our premises has. Beggars can't be choosers. I tend to use steel pans or non-Teflon coated pans, but this is what we're working with. Once that comes to temperature, I'm going to sear this on both sides and put it to one side. Whilst this is coming up to temperature, let me just tell you about what I've done in advance. So this is okra. I've just sliced it down the middle and dry fried it on this pan before I did anything else. Just dry frying it keeps the okra nice and crisp, rather than if you boil it or put it in a stew, it becomes quite viscous and sludgy, and that's actually why a lot of people don't like okra. But if you prepare it like this, it's a really lovely way of enjoying okra. And okra has lots of benefits. It's actually full of types of fiber that coat the inner lining of your digestive system, and it slows the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. So definitely okra is one of those many types of fibers that I recommend people get into their diet.
Just a quick one, if you're enjoying these recipes from Healthy Travels with Dr. Rupy, then check out the link down below in the captions where I give you all recipes from this series and easy downloadable PDF. Just click the link down below, follow the instructions, and we'll send the recipes to you. Back to the show.
All right, so our pan is pretty much at temperature at the moment. I'm just gonna test one of our little prawnies. Yep, it's making a nice little sizzle. Prawns really don't take that long to cook. Another thing I did just before we started cooking is soaked some lentils. Now, this is just split yellow lentils, the real quick cooking ones. It only takes about 20 minutes to cook. Just soaking them reduces the cooking time even further. I've drained them, soaked them, washed them nicely, and we're gonna use this to thicken our Nasi Kandar sauce. So that's gonna be our richness, and we're gonna blend that to get a nice, silky texture that we're gonna lather over our rice. I've already cooked some rice as well, so nasi means rice, and the rice that they tend to use is white rice. Nothing wrong with that, but we want to go slightly healthier, and that's why we're increasing the fiber content by using a brown rice and mixed vegetables. This is definitely going to the back of my throat. Woo! Spices frying! Yee! All right, we're going to flip this over. Oh, look at that. That is the crust we want. This looks like the type of grilling, the type of grillment that you'll get in a typical Nasi Kandar. I like those spices nice and fried like that. That is exactly the kind of garnish you want with your Nasi Kandar. It's that masala flavor that really comes through. That's looking great. That's exactly what I want the prawns to look like. Nice searing on the outside, that kind of flavor, that's exactly what we want. These will sit to one side. Now, when you see a Nasi Kandar store, they'll have different types of meats on display, just waiting to be added to rice with all the curries and all that kind of stuff. So that we're gonna do exactly the same and leave that to one side. We're gonna pop a large saucepan on a medium heat. So, my man, you wanna come over here? All right, we're gonna chop the onions. Just a rough chop will do because we're actually gonna blend this all so it's nice and smooth, using loads of onions, Some garlic cloves, ginger. We're gonna add a bit of oil to this. They tend to use a lot of oil when they cook Nasi Kandar the proper way. I'm gonna use a good smattering, but not too much. Let's go in with our fry mix. You want to get your onions really nice and fried. We're gonna keep this like fairly luxurious. You know, it's not gonna be 100% healthy, of course, but that's part of the enjoyment of the food experience. You know, you can have a shrug to a Nasi Kandar. This is definitely not a Nasi Kandar. It's a doctor's kitchen Kandar. We're still gonna have those sort of memories of us lining up, enjoying that real rich broth, but you know what? It's gonna be healthier and it's still gonna be super tasty. As our onions getting on, oh look at that. See that browning that's going on? That's exactly what we want. Usually Nasi Kandar takes hours and hours to make, so this is a lot quicker because we're only doing one gravy. A lot of the times you have multiple different gravies and get one load of rice and then bang, bang, bang. They'll have all the different types of flavor, which is why, exactly as Simon described to us, it's like ratatouille where all the flavors just sort of like pop off in your head. And so hopefully I'm trying to mimic that, and you'll see with the collection of spices that I've got going in here now, we can recreate some semblance of that wonderful experience. Okay, first off, curry leaves, a cinnamon stick, star anise, cardamom pods that I've bashed already, clove, I put 3 in there, which is quite a lot, pandan leaf goes in, and then later on I'm going to use some palm sugar. I was about to call it jaggery. You could also use jaggery if you wanted. I'm just going to shave some off this block here. Beautiful. Oh man, straight away. Cinnamon, star anise, clove, that combination combined with the onions and garlic, beautiful. I love cooking with these kind of spices. This is my kind of cooking. And you think about all those benefits of spices in general, cloves, star anise, cinnamon, all anti-inflammatory, all the different polyphenols. We know we should be eating more of them. And when you combine it with fiber-rich ingredients that we're about to add here, you know, it's a winning combination. Okay, we're gonna go in with our tomatoes. Now the tomatoes are gonna release their juices, just let them stew down. So I'm gonna do something slightly unusual that I tend not to do when I cook. I'm actually gonna remove the cinnamon, the star anise, and the pandan leaf. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we're actually gonna blend these ingredients. The cloves I don't mind too much. If I see a clove, I might fish it out. Yeah, there you go. And the cardamom I don't mind too much either. Because what we're gonna do to mimic that rich flavor of the Nasi Kandar sauces, we're gonna actually blend this all up. And before we do that, we're gonna add our lentils to this mixture. So a good handful of lentils. We'll cook those into the spices a bit as well. I haven't added any salt to this either, but I'm gonna add a big pinch of pepper, but not salt just yet. Tomato paste. So again, another rich umami flavor, adding a bit of sweetness. Stock cube that I'm gonna roughly chop just to break up. And I'm gonna add the other rich flavors that you find in this typical sauce. Soy sauce, I'm gonna use light soy sauce. And I'm gonna add kicap manis, which is a really popular ingredient over here in Malaysia. It's gonna add real sort of dark molasses tones to this. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of water to start cooking the lentils. And I want this to be tangy, sticky, sweet, deep in flavor. Get that to a nice rolling boil. And we're gonna cook those lentils until they're nice and soft. And actually, the cardamom pods sort of come to the top. So you can actually fish them out if you were worried it was gonna affect your blender. Oh, I forgot my sugar here. I'm gonna put half the amount because there's actually quite a bit of kicap manis that I put in there. But yeah, the palm sugar is really important to make it nice and sticky and sweet. Lid on, 10 to 15 minutes until the lentils are nice and cooked, and then we're gonna blitz everything up. So the lentils have become nice and soft, and the mixture, as you can see, is bubbling away, dark, gnarly. That's the look of one of those Nasi Kandar gravies that we're trying to mimic here with slightly healthier ingredients. I'm gonna liquidize this. Generally, they don't have to liquidize it, but for this, with the lentils, I don't want the lentil texture, I want it to be all smooth. Just never know. Bloody hell. Oh my God. Where's it coming out of? Sorry guys, tea towel on top, I think it is. Let me get Oh, there you go. All right, that is the consistency that I'm looking for. This thick gravy, look at that. This is the thick molten-like mixture that you see in Nasi Kandar. This is it right here. I'm gonna put the pandan leaf back in, the cinnamon stick, the rest of the ingredients, put the heat on just for another couple of minutes. This is exactly what I was looking for, exactly what I was looking for. This is the one. It's sweet, tangy, earthy, deep, rich. Honestly, this is phenomenal, phenomenal. I got some brown rice with a little bit of mixed vegetable just to add a little bit more fiber. Bit of red spinach, bit of regular spinach. Just roughly chop this with hopefully a sturdier knife than mine. And I'm gonna use a cucumber just as some garnish. But we're whacking in the rice right in the middle. In my take or shoulder shrug on a Nasi Kandar, obviously I'm putting loads of greens on top. Lather on this beautiful dark sauce. So excited about this. It's so, so good. Dry roasted, or dry fried I should say, okra, that's gonna be a pleasure to eat. Those beautiful prawns, succulent. They've got that lovely crust on the outside with all those different spices. You've gotta try this Doctor's Kitchen Kandar. Honestly, it is wonderful. You will not be disappointed. These elements all come together for a lot healthier version than Nasi Kandar. It is absolutely wonderful. Please do try this. This is my Doctor's Kitchen Kandar, which is inspired by the original Nasi Kandar. I'm really, really happy with how this one turned out. Get some of that rice in there as well, some of those greens. Honestly, this comes together so well. Honestly, if you want a flavor of that Nasi Kandar, try this dish. You can make it from ingredients that you've got at home. And if you're interested in all the other recipes that we made from the series, we've got plenty more to share. Check them out down below.